Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Elvis. So Elvis, welcome.
Hello.
So Elvis, can you
Should it?
please tell us your full type?
I'm a ISFJ jumper, and in OPS I'm visual, so FMSITI, so ISFJ jumper, and sleep, consume, play, blast, social type, probably number three. Dave doesn't know what else I would be.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and then what did you think and how did you feel when you got this typing results back?
Um, so to be honest, when I processing my type was not as difficult as the relationships and dynamics towards my brother and other people, because I saw them completely something else. So I was more weirded out by how the surrounding makes sense. Yeah. And yeah, to be fair, I could catch ground quickly because, well, it would be, well, I don't know, it would be very devastating if it turns out I'm actually something else. But for now, I try to trust it and try to build on that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought you were an ENTP because I think I saw your quadra. It's the same as ISFJ, right? But just opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought you have high play, but it's because you have double masculine play. That's really interesting. So it's just like aggressive. It doesn't mean it's like a savior. So it's kind of tricky that way. I know in the
Yeah.
past,
Yes.
Stephen Chan typed some people who are play last, like high play, but it was because of double masculine play, which is really tricky. Um, let's start with that because that's kind of like the obvious one with you. It's like you're really aggressive with that play, even though it's a demon. Like, um, double masculine NF play. Like, what's going on there with you? Like, once you found out that you have double activated, or not double activated, double masculine NF play, like really aggressive with a tribe. How did you see that for you personally? Just like wanting to really aggressively ping the tribe, even though it's a demon.
You know, the trick is I first like have to get past my sleep to let the guards down. And then it is like uh that. But to be fair, well, it makes sense. It makes sense because uh well, I don't see it in another way, but that's when people get on a more aggressive level, I can just reciprocate.
And I think this also explains why you have trouble sleep processing because you're sleep processing and nothing happening because it's double feminine. So you're sleep processing and you're
Yeah.
forgetting everything that you're sleep processing, and that's your first animal. So you keep doing it and nothing's like sticking. Can you explain or share the frustration with that where like you're sleep processing and nothing will stick because it's double feminine with the ST sleep?
You know, you're that's kind of a Sisyphus task. Uh yeah, you feel like that. And it's a slow grind. Takes time to build it up slowly. I guess it's just probably because I have masculine feeling. It's just I learn through the pain of always like forgetting things. And that's what's driving me forwards. Um, yeah.
And then the other thing with you, and I think this is why I thought you were an ENTP, is your NT consume is double activated, which is weird, because you're supposed to be an ISFJ and consume is the hardest animal for IJs, but then you have it double activated, and yours is NT, so you're double activated NT consume. So you will come across as very NT like because you're doing this
I,
NT nonstop.
I'm a traitor of the IJ team.
Yeah, you are. You are a traitor.
Yeah. Sorry, IJs.
Yeah, you joined the dark side, the EPs.
Well, I'm a double agent, you know. I can entertain both.
Yeah, so
Um,
I want to ask you about that. You're an IJ, but you don't come across as IJ at all. Like I've spoke to you before, and you are very chaotic for like an IJ. Um, and
yes.
what are you organizing? Like, it doesn't seem like you're organizing anything, you know? Like your lead as I.
Well, right before this interview, I organized my place to feel better, but it's very whimsical. It's usually doesn't like uh push through to become my actions, you know? And in games it shows very much, although, because I'm very way too much into like figuring out the settings. And yeah, I can talk little bit more about that, but uh I'm so sorry. You have it's my blast last. I always leave so much room to talk, but I don't do it.
That's the most obvious thing about you. You are definitely blast last. There's nobody that can ever deny that you are blast last, not even yourself. So it is definitely your biggest problem. Which is ironic because you're an IJ. The blast is supposed to be the strongest animal, but then you have it as the least activated. Technically, you have the biggest container for the potential for growth for blast if you get a chance to really practice it. So hopefully, as you get older, that is gonna get a lot.
Uh, yeah, my task is now to figure out how I can trick myself into that.
Trick yourself.
And yeah, you know, you know, Dave says it's just our job to trick everyone else. And I think that's also the case with ourselves. And so, yeah, gotta find a way around that. And yeah, I got some tangible goals, which I can try to follow for the next couple of days to see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense about tricking yourself. I've done that myself a lot, like especially going to the gym. Like I don't feel like working out, and then I'll tell to myself, "Oh, Kendrick, just go there for 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Just very short workout, 5 to 10 minutes." And then I get there and I end up working for 1 hour. So it's sometimes tricking is
Yes.
very important. Like it does work.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
found so like I wear contact lenses, and I found that simply alone putting them on makes me far more likely to do the play and blast. So I try to do that.
It's
It's
almost
the mindset.
it's almost like a cue, right? Like kind of like with like animals with a bell, like ding 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 ding, and then they know it's time to eat dinner. For you, it's like, oh, contact time to play blast.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm more motivated to go out because I don't have my clunky glasses. I don't know. Yeah.
It's interesting that you got typed as an IJ because it would make perfect sense why you and your brother get along so well. Because your brother's an EP, right? So you guys are like the opposite, supposedly. And then IJs and EPs are like best friends, right? So it's like, oh, it makes sense why when I was watching you and your talk to your brother, I was like, oh, you guys are like you guys get along so well, and it makes perfect sense. The EP and IJ dynamics. How do you feel like knowing that? Oh, you guys are opposite. That's why you guys click so well together. You're both introverted too, technically.
You know, um, I still can't accept that he's a bit more extroverted than me. I can't accept it.
Oh,
Uh,
what's his type?
Well, Dave said he's a consume, and well, I think he's either consume sleep play or consume play sleep.
But which kind of EP is he? There's 4 kinds, right?
Oh, I have a good guess on FI, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, the FI is kind of obvious.
SCFI.
Oh,
Audio maybe.
ESFP.
Audio maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because when he like, I never do that, but he when he plays around with our mother and he gets like he does all this fighting stuff and it's very, and I'm not like that. I'm like, get off of me.
Oh, I see. He's very like the SE. He wants to touch people and like kind of like
Yeah.
very it's very SF, the flavor. It's not like
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
And how do I feel about this? Yeah, yeah, this was the most shocking part, to be honest. This will take me the longest time to process. Because I thought I was the bigger dinosaur. Well, if you just look, he's the bigger dinosaur, but yeah, will take a time, but uh yeah, well, um I don't know how I feel. So
That's fine, man. That's fine. The other thing I want to talk to you about is social type number 3. That it's just a guess right now. Obviously, it's not like fully flushed out yet. Because for me, talking to you, you come across as very number 4. You don't come across as number 3 at all. Like to me, you seem like you're super high friends. But I want to hear your perspective on it because obviously the not double activated, double masculine play is could make you come across that way. But I have interviewed people in the past who have double masculine play and number 3, and they are avoiding the tribe. So you are not avoiding the tribe. You like the tribe a lot. But I want to hear what your perspective is on that, because even if regardless if you're 3 or 4, you would have savior specialization. So obviously, that's something that like is pretty obvious about you. You're a specialist, right? So then the only thing that's
yeah.
different in that case is, are you demon friends or are you demon what's the other one? Are you demon friends or demon flex? That's the biggest cross check. And then are you missing flex if you are a 4, or are you missing broad responsibility if you are a 3, right? So from your own perspective, what do you feel like you are missing? Are you missing broad responsibility, kind of like like managing a broad of a lot of people, or are you missing flex? Like which one would you say is missing more for you?
It's tricky. Well, I got to the point where I will accept any one of those, but uh well, one thing which I think goes towards free is that uh I sort of have more respect for people who beat me at my own game.
And what is your game that people will beat you at?
Okay, well, playing cello
Oh, okay.
and like in my same age and stuff, and uh so, and like, okay, also another sign might be that I am very I I let I can be friendly, but only after I know where we stand in relation to each other, you know? Is it weird?
Well, that doesn't explain the social type. That kind of explains more your having masculine DE, right? Because masculine DE, you will perceive the tribe as a threat. So until you know that they are not a threat, then it's not easy to be friends with them right from the start because of that perception. Um, so it could be from that. So that doesn't provide any clue, regardless for if you have savior friends or if you have savior flex, right? So because I don't see you,
Yeah.
it's because you don't do either. Like the only thing obvious about you is double masculine play and blast last. And then when you said earlier, like you respect people who will beat you at your own game, then I'm just gonna make fun of you now because I think a lot of people will beat you at your own game because you're an IJ that can't blast, right? So a lot of the IJs will beat you, in this game that you're playing because you're like the I
Yeah.
trouble with this.
And composing is just my coping mechanism. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Your type is difficult, like to function. It's a difficult one, that double feminine first animal that you have like sleep of all things, right? Because then that's your identity, and then you're forgetting your identity all the time. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
um
And uh yeah, like it's very like okay, in like my channel teachers say, and with this is very telling, they say I have the knowledge, I just forget it, I just they need to always like be there as a sort of cheerleader to get me into this mode again. It's so frustrating because I can't bring myself hardly to do it. That will be the biggest challenge, which is probably holding me back from which is probably a factor why others will beat me.
yeah, yeah, definitely for sure. Why don't we go deeper into your ST sleep? Because I think that's important to kind of like flush out which area of that double feminine and ST sleep that you have trouble with. So the first aspect of it is SITI health routine, right? So if you look at a lot of people with Savior ST sleep, usually they have one of them as masculine, not both of them. So yours is going to be a little bit tricky, but you know, part of ST sleep is having an exercise routine for your physical health. Part of it is having a nutritional routine for eating the right food that will give you the most energy and longevity. And then another part of it is also your emotional health, right? Like kind of like getting all the bad emotions out and then having more positive emotions in. And then the last one is the physical sleep, like actually sleeping. So let's start with
Okay.
the easiest one first, the sleeping part, like the actual physical sleeping. How are you with sleeping? Do you sleep really well?
No, this is the hardest part.
Really?
I thought the way you listed it, you had me first on the first bullet point, but after that you slowly lost me,
Okay,
Exercising,
let's start with exercise.
exercising is the easiest out of all for
Okay.
me.
Okay. So you can go to
Uh,
you play sports and go to the gym then?
I don't go to the gym, but I go outside play sports.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and like, yeah, I don't have. Okay, I do sort of have a routine, but it is more like, how do I say this? It can be very movable depending on how I'm feeling, you know. So like when I'm going out, like I have like this sort of plans in my head. Like I have I'm going certain paths which I'm always going, you know? And then then there's always these few options which I can go, you know? And these are just I have a routine in the sense that I always have this certain path, but I always like randomly branch out and decide in a moment what I'm going to do specifically, you know? So this looks like that, I think. Do you get it?
I know. The one thing that popped in my head while you were talking about going out to exercise by playing sports and stuff is you're the same type as Cristiano Ronaldo. He's your type twin. And
I practice free kicks.
yeah. I was just thinking, I was like, oh my God, your type twin is Cristiano Ronaldo. Like you are, he sleep consume play blast ISFJ FM, right? So like you. So I was just thinking, I'm like, this is so good for you because now you know where your type is good at. Your type is good at sports, you know?
Yeah.
You,
Like when I play football, I'm like 90% of the time I'm practicing free kicks, which is pretty ironic.
3 kicks?
Like free kicks.
Like,
Standards, free kicks.
oh, the standard kicks. Like there's 3 standard kicks that you're supposed to do. Is that what you're saying?
Do you know what free kicks are?
No, I don't play football. So.
Okay, sorry. Now I have to do plus. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Here it is. I'm ready. I'm ready for your blast.
So basically, you play the game. One team tries to score the point, one goal, and the other team in the other direction. And when there are certain areas, there's a 16-meter box on each of those sides, and outside of that is the room. The room, when you get fouled, you get a free kick. So that means the game is stopped, and at the point where the foul has happened, you are able to someone can step up and kick the ball to continue the game. And in lots of these situations, the ball is not so far away from the goal, and this means that you can potentially try to score directly from a free kick because the game is paused and nobody can hinder you to scoring. And that's why it's important to practice free kicks.
Oh, I see. So that's what you're practicing then.
Yeah.
And are you good at doing that?
I do it as a hobby, but I can say like I am pretty advanced, I think.
Oh, nice. I'm really excited for you because you actually have a type twin that's a famous celebrity because it in a way it kind of lays out the path to success for you already. Because a lot of people they're looking for someone that is a celebrity type twin just so they can see, like kind of like the highest point that you can reach for your type. And usually
Yes.
your type twin tells you what your potential is, right? So for example, for me, my type twin is someone in the US and he won an Oscars. So I'm like, oh, so I guess I could be good at writing a story for like movies or whatever. That's kind of like my peak, right? So for you, it's sports. Like you have Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. So if you SI focus mastering one sport in certain movements, you can be amazing. And then now you have that, clear pathway, because you're an IJ, I'm an EP, we're obsessed with pathways. So you have a clear pathway to the direction that you would do well in. I think the double masculine play also helps in sports because you're aggressive with other people, right? So it's like, especially team sports. So I just want to ask you then, like, I don't know how your parents encourage you when it comes to academics or career, but are you being encouraged in academic or are you being encouraged into sports? Because there's different kind of like parents, right? Some parents encourage their kid to play sports. Yeah. So I want to hear
I was encouraged into music.
music, but that's but you're not audio. But I'm not saying you can't, because Taylor Swift is visual, so it's not impossible. It's possible for sure. It's just not like the normal fit, you could say. But
Yeah, it gets more weird after I found out my type, But I wanted to become a racing driver.
oh, okay.
And yeah, there was no way it could happen because not the right surroundings and lacking financial tools.
Did you watch that movie Gran Turismo? That kid who played the video games and he became a real race car driver?
Yes.
Dude, that could
Dude,
be. You just need a Gran Turismo in your room.
His character seemed so FI. Bro, this was so over the top.
That guy's definitely an ESFP, 100%. There's no.
Yeah. This was so bam. I'm SF, bam.
Yeah. Definitely like MF, ESFP. It was so obvious when I saw that movie. I was like, this is an ESFP here. So, but interestingly enough, if you look at the category of race car driving, it's pretty risky, right? It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
And one of your fellow FM ISFJ is Tom Cruise, and he loves to do stunts, like dangerous stunts. Even though he's an IJ, supposed to be scared of chaos, he's doing all these stunts, right? And I just want to say something about that because Jordan Peterson, who is an ENTP, obviously the same quadra as you, he said in his book 12 Rules for Life. I don't know if you've ever read it, but in that book,
I have it in my closet, and I have only read the first chapter.
Okay. Well, I recommend you read a chapter called Don't Disturb Kids When They're Playing Skateboard. Something like that. That's not the exact word, but something like that. It's a really good chapter, especially with ST sleep. So Jordan Peterson said in the book that he was watching some kids skateboard and he noticed that, yeah, perfect, sweet. There you go. Yeah, definitely read that chapter, man. That's totally like perfect. That book is written for people with ST sleep. Like that chapter at least. He has a chapter also on SF Blast, which I think you should also read. But it's a really good book actually. For your quadra, like you guys, that's like
yes.
that's a manual for your quadra. Seriously. And even for me, I'm not in your quadra, but I have SI, right? And also NE. So I can relate when he was saying those stuff because he has some SIFE tips, right? And I was like, oh, I don't have SIFE, but like I can just copy it and I can use it. Right? Because I think it's really good when like correcting the behavior of the tribe. But anyways, I want to go back to the ST sleep real quick. And so one of the things that he said, and I think this is gonna apply to you a lot because you are an IJ. So he said he was watching some kids play skateboard, and then he noticed that the better they got, the less they would fall down, right? Like the more they practice skateboarding, the less they fall down. And basically the conclusion he came up with is competence creates safety. So the more competence you have, the more good you are at something, even if it's like a dangerous activity, you're actually more safe. And it's a very good tip to IJs because IJs are like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen. But like, that's like the IJ mentality, like chaos. There's like, especially for you, any at the bottom, yours is masculine, so you can see it. Different future possibilities because you have it fourth, it's going to be negative future possibilities, right? So if you look at the different negative possibilities, you can just look at what the possibility is and just build competence in those negative ones, and then now it's safe because you're competent at that skill set, right? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Okay, this is, I thought Okay. This is a bit complicated to set into action because my intrusive thoughts a lot of the times involve just, like the worst case scenario, what if when people attack you,
Yeah.
and that means I would have to learn some type of combat.
You got it. Yes. Yes.
But I'm a musician.
Yes.
And every person I told that is against it because I should like preserve my hands and stuff, but I have to do it eventually. I have to do it.
I don't think you have to learn how to punch people. You can learn jujutsu. It's grappling, right? And you have SI. So people with SI are good at wrestling, or like jujutsu. So if someone say, oh, you need to preserve your hands, you can't be like striking. You're gonna damage your hand for music. It's like, oh, well, there's a loophole. Jujutsu. It's just grabbing people. So you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Dude, yeah, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that's like one of the most powerful combat sports, right? So I mean, and it's also very good because you don't have to hurt someone. If someone's threatening you, you can put them in a submission hold, and then you can tell them. And then, actually, very funny enough, when you have them in a submission hold, you know what you can do next, right? You can do the SF blast while they are trapped in a submission hold. You can say, yeah. So you have them in a choke, right? It's like, are you gonna behave? Are you gonna make sure that you don't act crazy?
Yeah. My biggest fear when like getting into such a situation is not like the fighting, but that if I have to do something, that's the person is getting pissed afterwards extra much. That's my fear. And so if I like have if I don't hurt them, I'm much more fine with that.
Yeah. And then also, if you have them in the submission hold, let's say you have a choke hold, right? And then they're like acting crazy, you can wait for them their energy to go down so they're not angry anymore. If you hold them long enough, they'll like lose the energy, right? And then you can say, okay, and then you can talk to them like an adult, right? You can be like, okay, I'm gonna let you go, but hey, I don't have anything against you. I don't hate you. Can we just get along? I'm gonna let you go, and like I said, man, I don't have any problem with you. Okay, I just want to play nice. I don't,
Yeah.
And then it's actually nice,
Yeah.
And then you let them go, and they're not angry at you, right? And actually, they respect you because you beat them up technically because you put them on submission hold, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I see. Yeah, that's this is so helpful.
Yeah, that's why the intrusive thoughts, you have to think of the skill to counter the intrusive thoughts. So in your case, some kind of self-defense, right? Brazilian jiu-jitsu is the most yeah. So
intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
And become experts at them. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Or become competent.
Become competent, because competence creates safety. That's what Jordan Peterson said, and he's an ENTP. He's your opposite, and I think you should take the advice of your opposite. I think that's really good, right? Like, I think it's really helpful for you specifically. I think the social type 3 also, so it's even perfect. What I like about Jordan Peterson is he's a social type 3 that's telling people to take responsibility. That's amazing. Like, he's like, you should be responsible for everything. That is like the most growth mindset social type number 3 right there. I know he's crazy about some other stuff, like with the LGBTQ stuff. He's kind of crazy with that. So you can ignore him with that kind of stuff. He's human, he has flaws. But like but for the broad responsibility, that's such a good tip for you, especially you're so young. To hear someone that's like, his age, number 3, telling other number 3s or number 4s, go take responsibility, clean your room, all that stuff. It's so good. It's so good. Such a good advice.
You know how I imagine how my concept of responsibility is?
What?
Like, whenever, okay, it's not like that I can put it into action, but whenever I try to imagine what responsibility is, I always have to imagine that there's some core foundations of like skills which cover an area and that I can jump from them then easily into the space and cover that, you know? That's how I imagine responsibility.
Can you say that again? That's a little bit confusing. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
take your time.
There are these.
Take your time to blast it, to organize your thoughts and then blast it.
Okay. You have some core foundation, some skills, and ideally they create a sort of grid which creates a field, and then you can just jump from these axis into the field and cover that easily.
I am lost. So, like, what's the purpose of this grid? Like, what are you trying to achieve with this grid? And then can you explain the framework again? It's a little bit confusing.
Specialize my way around responsibility.
Okay, so how do you plan to specialize your way around responsibility?
To find skills which cover a good amount of which try to cover a bigger area, so I can go in between.
Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Okay, that makes sense now. There we go.
Yeah.
See? That was well explained. That was a good blast. There we go. The third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Yeah, there is such thing as like the 80-20 rule, right? I don't know if you've heard of that, where like, you know, the 20% that you do get 80% of the result. So if you specialize in that 20%, you can cover 80% of the ground, right? So that makes perfect sense. Yeah. But
yeah,
have you figured out what that 20% is? Like that thing that would cover a lot of ground, that if you specialize in this one thing, it would cover a lot of bases?
one thing would be, okay, sports and it's training combat. Another thing would be like finances, then cooking, and then the craft which I'm like getting money with.
Oh, like your career, your job.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just on the top of my head, but I think this is very good.
Dude, you sound like a number 4, like based on what you just said. Like you sound like you have so many hobbies. That's what number 4s do, right? They chase hobbies. And you have so many hobbies. Like that sounds like a number 4. You know. But anyways, whatever. Right now it's unsure what your social type.
I can't be a number 4, honestly.
Yeah, but it's not sure yet. Like Dave thinks you're 3, but not sure also. He's not sure. He's leaning towards 3. I'm leaning towards 4. The commonality is specialization. So okay. And then I'm just watching you talk right now. I'm like, you seem to be chasing hobbies. I mean, I'm not saying number 3s don't do that, but like, you know, but it seems like you have so much, you know, the idea of being a number 3 is you focus on one thing, but then you seem to be interested in so many different things like cooking, music, sports. Now you want to do some kind of like friendly combat, like, you know, that doesn't hurt your hands, so you can still practice music. You know, so it's like you're doing so much stuff, man. Like it's like, uh, it doesn't feel like a number 3. However, you do have double activated consume, so that could be it. So double activated consume activates social type number 2, and so that could be you collecting skills. You know, you're collecting different skills as a result of your animals.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst interviewee. I tried to say something.
Take your time. Take your time. Dude, I can see the frustration, like the double feminine sleep. Like you're trying to make it solid so you can communicate it, but it just won't stick. Like I can see the I can see the frustration in your face. You're like almost like stricken with grief. It's like, why won't it solidify, you know? Like it just won't. It's so annoying.
You have to work so hard. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. You know, it's actually good for me because like I'm you know I'm interviewing you and I want people to see what your type is like, and now people are aware.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you have double feminine ST sleep, this is the struggle that you will have,
Yeah.
you know. So I think it's good that people can see it, and then if someone is a similar type as you, they could be like, oh my god, I can relate to Elvis. Like, I can't do that. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating, you know.
Man, I hope it's still enjoyable, like to that for you.
It
I
is, yeah.
hope I don't annoy you. I don't
No,
annoy
no, no. It
you.
was good. Like especially that time that earlier when we were talking about like when you were talking about your invasive thoughts, I thought that was really good. Like, you know, you're afraid someone's gonna attack you, and then you know, we went back to Jordan Peterson's concept. You know, it's kind of complex. It's kind of very NT, right? Like uh competence equals safety. And then you're like, okay, so how can you and then I love how you connected the dots with your NE. The NT was definitely working. You're definitely not NT last because you figured it out so quickly. Because I didn't tell you the answer, right? So you said when I said to you, so how can you have safety in this invasive thought? And then you said, I have to learn some kind of combat. I'm like, that's definitely NT. You figured it out, right? If
you seemed so happy there.
I'm double activated NT, right? So are you. So when I see someone NT figure it out, I think I'm like, great, this is so nice. Sometimes I interview someone and I provide this kind of like puzzle for them to solve. I'm not gonna give you the answer. I can tell you the answer after, but I won't give you the answer. I want to see if you can solve it. And then sometimes the person I'm interviewing, they can't find a solution. They're like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. And I'm like, try harder. They're like, I don't know the answer. I'm like, oh my God, you gave up too quickly. But like for you, you actually solved the puzzle, which is amazing. And I think that's gonna help you a lot. And so
Yeah.
even if your ST sleep is causing you a lot of problems, at least your NT consume will give you a lot of help. Masculine NE, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of saw the Annie more as a friend than my SI. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird because your SI is the top and your NE is the bottom, and then your NE is more confident because it's masculine, right?
Yeah. I can see why there's so much frustration in my daily life. I can
You
see it.
you have a lot of cognitive dissonance. I think that's going to be a challenge for you. Um, I think whatever career you decide to participate in, you have to make sure you're doing it with people because your strength is tribe. It's double masculine NF play. So your strength is going to be with people. If you do something, a job where you have to use sleep, yeah, that's not, you're not, you're just not gonna be
and
competitive. You're not gonna be
and
competitive, man. It's not
and
gonna.
it and it's my savior, so I have the responsibility to do it, and so I'm like refusing to escape the sinking ship.
Yeah, you're gonna drown. Like, dude, don't do that. Like, for God's sake, please don't do that. Like, you're young, and it's good that you got to OPS when you're really young, and you can see where you have a competitive advantage. And for you, your competitive advantage is with a tribe. It has to be. You have to specialize in something that involves a tribe. So it could be sports. If it's some music, you have to play in an orchestra. It has to be with a group of people playing music, right? Or if whatever career you end up with, it has to be with people. And I ideally, it also uses FE. Okay, so sports is good because it's very FE like, right? Like you get like very
Mhm.
excited. The crowd cheering gets you like energy. You know, like that's why Ronaldo is doing so good. I think if
Yeah.
if Ronaldo picked a different
Yeah.
career, he would be so shitty at it, right? He got lucky. He's doing football. But because if he picks something else, there's no crowd energy. Like he is fucked, right?
Uh,
Pretty much. So
yeah. Uh, Imagine like if he would have landed in a sports which was not popular at all. I think this alone would have like nerfed him.
yeah, like if he played chess, oh, he's gonna suck. Double feminine asleep. Like how can you make a decision on what move to do, right? Because like you'll always be indecisive. That's not a good sport for
Yeah,
feminine ST sleep. Like it's not.
chess is chess chess is definitely a very interesting experience.
Yeah, you're gonna second guess yourself. There's no confidence in your movement. Like it's not gonna be the best for you. Like anything that is using sleep is not gonna be the best. Even if you have it
Yeah,
in your state, dude, that is not a bad
you
that's a
know,
decision.
you know, when I always play chess, I somehow find myself always doubling down on trusting that they psychologically confuse the opponents. Like that's my strategy. Nothing else.
Yeah, if you play chess, you'll beat someone that's NT last. Okay, sure. But if they have NT in the first three and you have double feminine ST sleep, that's gonna be hard for you, man. Like it's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's yeah. I'm just a dude who like prides himself in apparently being good at chess.
No, but it's good because like at least from like a career standpoint or even like competitive advantage standpoint, you're best suited as a tactician, not a strategist. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
tactician is like execution in the moment because of the double masculine play, especially with the tribe. So you have to have the tribe involved. You're gonna be a tactician with the tribe, right? So that is where you're gonna be the best at. You're not gonna be the best at the strategist, like long-term strategy planning. You're gonna keep changing your plan because of stupid feminine SI and
Yeah.
feminine TI, right? Like it's gonna be so confusing. It's like, like you almost need to have masculine inner world to become a good like strategist almost. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I
yeah.
see.
So for you, you're gonna be a tactician. So you have it, and that's good. If you know all this information early on, then you have the competitive advantage. Then you can do really well. Like even Tom Cruise, he's an actor, right? He's working with other actors. He's working with other
I
actors.
do find I do find that I can somehow manipulate the perception of other people about me very well. So I have to do something where I can use that.
Yeah, yeah. It could be acting, sports, either or. Those are good. A good, what do you call it, field to go. The problem with music, in my opinion, is it's you can't manipulate the perception of other people. It's music is like you memorize the notes and there's really no perception of you. I don't know, maybe the way you dress. But like if you act, then it's you. You have a character that you're playing, right? If you're playing sports, you can feint, you can pretend to be doing something, other team gets confused, and then you can do something different, right? So there is that element of the play that's being used.
You know, yeah, I think it's definitely weird with music because like like I really need a strong amount of like stuff pulling to like keep me interested there, you know?
Yeah.
Like for me, like in my case, I got probably uh like it was sort of lucky that I somehow found myself that like composing stuff.
Yeah.
And this like became the primary force why am still interested in music. It's not actually the playing, it's that it's it's very weird. Like it's weird to realize that I sort of got into this like position as a cello player, but my main driving force is somewhere else. Yeah.
I think you composing is a good outlet for SITI because or SIFE even, like a combination of both. So the SITI is figuring out what you're composing, and SIFE is like presenting it to the world. It's good because with music, it's solid. Like, you know, with the notes and everything, like it's solid. It's the same. It's the same, right? You know, so you're making something solid, which I think is important. So you have an outlet. It's not going to be where you have a competitive advantage, in my opinion, but it's also a good outlet. So I think it's really healthy for you to do that.
Yeah. One thing, okay, but it helps me to get to my demons.
Yeah.
Because I have to work with the NF and with the blasts to like get across a performance to the audience, and at my level, which I am, at the level which I am, this is what counts. This is what counts the most, not just if you can play it, but how much you can convince the audience. Yeah.
Convince the audience that your music is good, or that.
Yeah, it's definitely that, but musicians are going to say something else because they want to make it seem more I don't know. They want it make it look better. But it's definitely at the core, it's that, you know.
You're
At the core.
showing off your competence. That's the core of it.
At the core is, do you just convince others
that you're good? Is that.
Yeah. Well, you can also see like objectively someone can do this or cannot do this, but
Oh yeah.
at the end it's just that. It's just that.
Okay, so it's more black and white. It's not like gray. It's like you're either good at this or you're bad at this. You know, it was either a good performance or a bad performance.
No. Wait. Am I confusing you?
Well, you can try again. Try again. Try blasting again. So maybe I can understand you better.
The psychological aspect is black white, not the skill.
Okay.
On the skill wise, there's a lot of levels, but you notice when someone has it or not. That's the thing.
Oh, you mean like that it factor?
Yeah, that's the convincing thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's true. You either have it or not. That is true for a lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of things in life. That's why you should find a field where you have the it factor, because if you don't have the it factor, you're wasting your time almost. You know what I mean? Like
I see. Yeah.
like Tom Cruise has the it factor for acting. He doesn't make bad movies, you know. He doesn't make bad movies. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo has the it factor for football. Like he's really good, right? Like so yeah, like you definitely need to have the it factor. Like even for me, like I used to do travel blogging and travel vlogging, like, and then I don't have the it factor for that. It's not good. So I don't have the it factor. So but when I switched to personality, it was a lot better, right? So, you know, it's sometimes you have to, that's why the EPs are a little bit better in this, because you can change to a different field if you know that this is not working for you, like you don't have the it factor. You're lucky with your type. I know you have a curse of double feminine but I think your gift, I would say, is double activated consume, anti-consume, and then also double masculine NE and double activated NE, double activated masculine NE, because even though you have the curse of the double feminine sleep, at least as an IJ you can change the trajectory of your future. So if you're going the wrong path, you can change it to the correct path.
Yeah.
where you have the it factor, not waste your time on something that you have no advantage because it will not serve you in the future, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but yeah, the thing is about changing trajectory. It is still the best choice for me to hang in there for 4 years, try to see how good I will get. It's like, if I'm there, I might as well try, you know? And then I can see. I talked with this with my teachers, and it's like, I don't know, you sort of have them the most options still, you know?
I think it's good to keep doing it, but also dip your toes in something else at the same time, so that you have
Yeah,
yeah
yeah,
yeah. Because for me, for example, like I have a travel blog and a travel YouTube channel before, and then I have personality trainer, right? And then in 2020, COVID hit, and no one can travel, so my travel YouTube channel is dead, and my travel blog is dead, right? And that
yeah.
used to be my main channel. It's not personality. Personality was just a hobby. It was just for fun. But I was able to switch because of uh you know circumstance that occurs in life to make that change, and I made that change, and now I'm so happy I made a change, right? So my travel blog and travel YouTube channel, I just do it for fun. I don't even take it seriously. It's okay, just for fun, right? Because I don't have the it factor there. Like I watch other channels and I'm like, I don't have the it factor. But but the personality stuff, I feel like I do. Especially interviewing people. So, um, like you have to find that area
You
where,
know,
yeah, go ahead.
it is weird. It's man, it's so much going into this stereotype, but I feel like I have the it factor in like designing things.
Well, you're a double decider, so better than
Designing,
oh
designing.
designing. What designing what?
Uh, yeah, the just well, what I is okay. Cars
Okay.
and I don't know, like it was okay. Okay, I don't know. But it is definitely. I keep definitely thinking about that. Like I seem to just be able to, like, to. I could draw. I can't. I can't draw. But it's
I've
definitely something which it's definitely something which like involves like creating the visual where I think I would excel.
Yeah, I would be surprised if you can't draw. You're a visual, of course you can draw. It's
Yeah, but it's so weird because like uh I never practice it, and I can't do it.
Yeah, well, you're visual, of course. That's just something that it's kind of a born talent. I'm pretty sure I never practiced music, but I'm pretty sure if I did, because I'm audio, pretty sure I can get good really quickly. Like I can feel it that if you give me an instrument, I can pick it up really quickly. It's just like a feeling, you know? Uh
Okay.
yeah.
uh, for sometimes it becomes apparent for me that like my audio modality is low because when I'm in a cello lesson and my teacher says to me, "Can you hear that? Can you hear that? What you're doing? Can you hear that?"
Yeah.
I'm like, what? uh, and then I always blame it on that I'm way too much into uh like that I'm way too much like into like this modern and advanced music stuff that I'm like became uh not so what's the word? I they became uh I don't know the words that I
That the word I'm thinking of is like you almost like pervert the music because it's not like the pure form anymore because you are listening to like the Gen Z music, you know? Like
yeah,
yeah. Like you're using
it's
the purity of the music. Like you're listening to like trash, like you know, young people music.
yeah, it's so weird because I'm listening to stuff and think, oh wow, like these ideas are so complex and stuff, and like this is like so fascinating to me. And then when I show this to others, they're like, bro, these sounds are ugly. These sounds are ugly, you
They're
know.
trash.
And I'm like, hey, how can how can I not listen to this? This is very well thought out, and apparently I have no issue like listening to that.
Yeah,
Like, okay, I'm going to share some of my DI here.
sure.
There's a guy called Camellia, and he does a genre which is called hyper pop. Hyper pop.
Okay.
And this is very anti-audio. This is just spamming sounds, bam, 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 just, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely weird that I seem to end up in the music genres where the sounds are like not enjoyable, but like that's just like more violence, you know?
You know what? I'm gonna say that actually some of the best musicians are FM. I'm gonna give you an example that David Chan had recently. Kurt Cobain, okay, he's an FM, okay, he's a visual, and he made like one of the best. He's like one of the best rock music artists of all time, and his music is violent, right? So it's kind of like what you said, like the lyrics are, you know,
Yeah,
for the
I like
story.
I'm way into violent music. Like
Yeah,
when I listen to stuff, it's like boom cha boom cha boom cha boom cha da, 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 da.
like, or like
And
heavy metal, kind of like no,
yeah, dubstep.
but I think if you do it right, it can sound good. So I think you're just young. So I think if you're trying to compose it, it's not honed in yet. And I think part of it, you need life experience because I feel like music is like an emotional expression, right? So I think you
Yeah,
experience a lot of hardship in life before you can make good music. Like Kurt Cobain, for example, he had a lot of hardship in his life. So, you know, and he was able to express that in his music, you know, especially from some of the stuff that was happening during his days, right? Like kind of like the stuff that he was seeing in the in the media, the culture. So he was able to express
okay.
music, right? That's what FE is. You're expressing the culture, right? Um, and then a lot of people can relate to it because it's happening culturally, right? So you know what I mean. So
Okay.
you're just so young. That's why you don't. That's why you know your music is not as strong yet because you don't have that like
For me, enough not enough happened yet to justify my aggression in the music.
yeah, not bad thing happened to you for your the aggression to come out. You're too happy right now, so it's not. You cannot make
Yeah.
yeah, the music cannot be strong. What do you call it? Like cannot be strong enough to make an impact because you're too happy. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's so weird when like like my journey as a composer is still very young.
yeah,
But when I already look back like 1 or 2 years, it's like, oh, I can totally see it now, you know?
yeah. You're a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It seems so childish the way I wrote stuff.
Well, you're a teenager, right? So it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's the notorious first sprint of a composer, you know.
Yeah.
Just indulging the stereotypes and going all out into some direction, then you settle, but I'm still in the crazy phase,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. You're still
Yeah,
exploring, which is important. That's an important phase. So it's good.
yeah,
Yeah. All right, Elvis. Well, we're gonna wrap up the interview here. So, yeah, thanks for coming out and sharing your official typing with everyone here. And definitely look into some of the stuff we talked about, like using competence to defeat invasive thoughts. And then also like looking at where you have the it factor and dabbling to that, just so you have a backup plan. You don't want to be like the IJ that falls off the cliff because you picked the wrong career. You want to be that IJ.
yeah,
You have a backup plan in case like something bad happens to your plan A, then you have a plan B, right? So yeah.
yeah.
All right.
It was it helped me 1% with processing.
Excellent. That's good, man. That's excellent. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
I still feel as competent as before.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
Take care, man.
bye. Bye.